Sex is also one part that people find it awkward talking about in their early stage of meeting together, having being friends, and trying to get engaged. But it is very important. It is something that will always pop up in a relationship. Hi there, hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Obama Adamabariti. I'm super excited to be here with you today. Today I want to ask you something. Are you okay? How are you doing? I'm also doing so fantastic. Today I want to discuss something very interesting with you. Trying to get engaged, okay? The things and the questions you should ask each other before you get engaged. By engaged, I do not mean that getting married. No, I don't mean getting married. I mean getting connected with the person that you would want to have a relationship with. Before getting connected, there are some questions you need to ask. And today, I want us to think about it, know what questions we can ask and what not to ask. Maybe you're also dating, but you've not really taken it seriously yet. That is why I'm doing this video. These are some questions you should ask your spouse or your friend who is not yet engage with you, so that you will know whether to get into the relationship fully or step out. Ready? The first thing that I think after going through the marriage ceremony I realize is we are not told enough of how important knowing your cycling is. Okay, you tend to start a relationship, move on, go all angles everywhere. Then when you are going to get married, when it's counseling time or when it's time to introduce yourself to the parents and everything, they tell you, have you checked your sickle cell? You should check your cycling. So what have you all been waiting for from the time that we started moving till now? Sometimes people move 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. They date, they court, and they move around, traveling to places without knowing they are cycling. Please, that is the first thing you should know before you get engaged, before you think of getting into a relationship with somebody. Know the person's cycling, the person's sickle cell, whether the person is positive or negative. How helpful it's going to be to you and your relationship is that it's going to help you to make decisions, future decisions that could improve your family or not. Okay, so if you decide to go ahead, even though both of you are positive, then you know the outcome. If you decide not to go ahead, then you can opt out immediately, because at that time definitely there is not much of investment, emotional investment into this relationship. So instead of investing your heart, your mind, your money into the relationship, get to know yourselves about your cycling first, okay, so that you know how to move ahead. Apart from the cycling, you should know your blood group, your blood type. You should know if you will be compatible health-wise or biologically, okay? And these tests are very less expensive. If you go to the hospital, you say, oh, this is a friend of mine, we want to test for our compatibility. They do all the tests and they would give you the results. Then you would know whether to go on, push ahead or not. Sometimes you might feel that, oh, this love, how can I go and check before this love? I'm in love, I'm so much in love. Yeah, I know that, but it is safe to do this before you get engaged, so that you don't get disappointed at the end. Okay, yeah, that's the first thing. Children are also one thing you should discuss before you get engaged. I have seen with my eyes a couple who got into the engagement stage, went courting and everything. They went to do counseling, they registered for counseling, went to do counseling, and within the counseling they had to dissociate themselves from each other. Why? Because the man wanted 8 children, and the lady at that time wanted 1 child. So you see, the combination wasn't going to stand at all. So they had to invest a lot of things before they got to the counseling stage and they realize that no, they are not compatible when it comes to giving birth, because definitely they would want to give birth after getting married. And this man wants 8 children. The ladies too said, no, me, I just want a baby. And the person who was counseling them tried to strike a balance, and the lady said, no, I cannot give birth to 4 children. I want 1 child. That is what the lady said. And that was the end of their relationship. Okay, so I think you shouldn't wait till that time where it's too late or anything. You should just make sure that whatever you are saying, whatever you want to do, whatever you are aspiring to do, you talk about it at this stage where you are now getting to know each other. Then you know whether you would want to carry on, you want to go forward, push harder, or stand aside for someone else to come. Okay, so yes, this is a point where you try to know how many children do they want. Do they want particular sexes alone? Is it going to be helpful to you? Yeah, that is also one thing that you have to consider before you get engaged. Also, matters of infertility, if it comes in, what is going to be the next result? Okay, some couple or some people do not think about these things. So if something hits them, hit them as a surprise, and it can destroy a beautiful relationship they've built. So instead of waiting for something to happen, I think, in my honest opinion, you should make sure that you talk about it. This and this and this is what we would want to do. Are you ready for adoption? If there is an issue of infertility, will you go for IVF? Are you ready for insemination? Or you do not believe in any of these things, these artificial ways of impregnating a woman? How do you think as a man about infertility? Do you think it's only the woman who is infertile sometimes, or the man can also have a problem? How urgently will you attend to the fact that you and the wife should go to the hospital to check both of yourselves? How are you going to accept that? You guys have to talk about it and know your point of views about these things, so you'll be able to find ways and means to meander your way in the works of life. Okay, finances is something which is less spoken about. Before you get engaged, please know this woman does not work, this lady does not work, this lady works. So this person brings this to the table, this man brings that to the table, so you don't get disturbed, you don't get distracted. Instead of just moving ahead, blindly following everything, then you realize in the end that this guy is lazy, he doesn't even go to work, he doesn't do this, that is going to cause a lot of commotion. But if you were able to talk about this before you got engaged, you would have been clearer on how to make money decisions. You would be clearer on that. But because most people do not discuss things of monetary value, things of how to plan their family monetary wise, financial stability, how they want their finances to be managed, they come together all right, but they are not able to go through smoothly and things go all out bad. So please, if you are willing to engage with someone, talk about finances too. What is your love language? So here I would want to recommend, there is a video here, I would link it here for you to get 5 love languages, okay, by Gary Kampman. I would want you to read this book. If you've not read this book, you're missing a lot. You would learn a lot from this book, and I recommend 100% that you read this book. Okay, this is not a sponsored video, but I know that this video, if you read it, it's going to help enlighten you about a lot of things. Know the love language of the person you want to have as a spouse or a partner in future. Okay, before you get engaged, you should know the love language of this person. What does this person want? What does this person define as love? How does this person see life? How does this person want to be loved? you need to know, so you'll be able to navigate your way through the person's heart. And that is also well established in the book 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. I think you should get a read of it, so you'll be able to get the types, the 5 different love language, the 5 major different love language that there is, and how you are going to be able to use them. Yes, there is this thing that people really need to talk about. What is the deal breaker? Before you get engaged, you should know what can destroy the engagement. You should know what can destroy the friendship, the courtship, the dating. You should know. Sit yourselves down. Man, what is the deal breaker for you? What will make you want to quit and never turn back? The man has to say it. Now the woman too. What is there that if I do, it's a deal breaker, you will not forgive me? It's a no. You will not want to accept. You will not want to entertain. What is a deal breaker? You guys have to talk about it, okay? So that you are clear that you can joke around everything, you can do everything, you can mess up anyway, but this particular thing you cannot do. That is a deal breaker for me. If you have such conversations, it's going to be very helpful for all of you to understand the level at which you have to operate and how good you have to put things together to make yourselves available and better for each other. Religion is something you should also look out for. What do you believe in? Are you both Christians? Are you Muslim Christian? Are you other religion? Are you atheist? How do you navigate your way through the works of life with your religious backgrounds that you have? Religion is one thing that you should not joke about it. It can destroy, it can make and unmake you. So you have to talk about it intensively. Know how you want to run the family. Know how the person is. If you think this person is not going to allow you to worship God, this person is not going to, then you know what to decide on. If you know this person is a Christian but does this and these things are against God's wishes, then you know what to do. So you need to know all these things before you get engaged with a person, okay? You need to know all these things before you get engaged with a person, okay? Sex is also one part that people find it's awkward talking about in their early stage of meeting together, being friends and trying to get engaged, but it is very important. It is something that will always pop up in a relationship. So how do you see sex? Sex before marriage, sex after marriage, or what do you think about sex? How many times would you entertain sex when you get married? How many times will you be able to abstain from sex when you are not married? How many times are you willing to sacrifice for the pleasure of the other? You should be able to talk about it intensively so you know whether you have the capacity to be with this person or not, okay? Because if you ignore it, it will go and come back and bite you in the ass. Please talk about sex before you even get engaged, so you know your wants, your dislikes, and the no-brainers in sex for you. Yes, some people have very crazy fantasies that they would want to explore with their wives. Some people also do not want to explore anything which they deem unclean or satanic. What do you think about those things? Talk intensively about sex so you will be able to verify if you have that capacity for it, okay? And career path is also very important. Is this person going to allow you to continue from what you have, okay? Especially the women. Some men get married or get engaged and they want you to stay home. They don't want you to work. They don't want you to dress nicely, move around like never before. They want you to be stable, stagnant at a place and look after their children, give birth and look after their children. Are you that person? Are you willing to sacrifice everything you have for that? Or you are that person who would want to pursue your dreams, your career and everything and still have family? How do you balance work and marriage? Okay, this is something you also talk about and know the perspective from the other spouse's point of view, so you'll be able to make very vital decisions on how you can carry on ahead in life. Okay, these are a few things that I think we should be able to talk about at the talking stage before you even get engaged, so you know whether to pack your things and go. By pack your things and go, I don't mean you are staying together, but I mean so you know whether it's not going to work or it is going to work. The last bonus point is, how do you settle disagreements between you? How do you settle disagreements? Do you call a third party? Do you speak to somebody? Do you sit and talk? Do you resort to your parents? How do you resolve issues when they come? Because they would always come. You two are from different families, different trainings, different background, different beliefs, different everything. So coming together, there's always going to be something to fight for, something to fight around. But how do you talk about your disagreement? You need to talk about it intensively so you'll be able to know how to solve your problems. Will you be able to cope with that, or you think differently about it? Then you'll be able to find out, is it appropriate to move to the next level, or you should end the relationship here. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate your watching the video, and also please subscribe to the channel. What are some of the things that you think people should also watch out for? People should think about, watch out for. You can add it in the comment section. Let's all learn. Okay, until then, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I love you, love you, love you.